The orange figure. New documents. Question. Epstein's death in his cell. Recent documents released by the U.S. Department of Justice reveal that investigators who reviewed surveillance footage from the night of Jeffrey Epstein's death noticed a person wearing an orange uniform moving up a staircase toward the isolated and secured section where his cell was located at approximately 10:39 p.m. on August 9, 2019. This event, recorded in the observation log of the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Manhattan, points to something that authorities had never previously disclosed. The log states that an orange blur appears moving up the stairs of L unit and may be an inmate being escorted into the unit. Conflicting conclusions. According to a memo from the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, investigators reached different conclusions when reviewing the same video footage. The FBI log described the blurry image as possibly an inmate. However, the Department of Justice's Office of the Inspector General documented the figure as a corrections officer carrying orange inmate linens or clothing, later referring to the individual in its final report as an unidentified corrections officer. The Inspector General's final report stated, at approximately 10:39 p.m., an unidentified corrections officer appeared to ascend the stairs to L unit and then reappeared on camera at 10:41 p.m. Official reports indicate that Epstein died by suicide sometime before 6:30 a.m., when his body was discovered by a corrections officer delivering breakfast. The exact time of death was never officially determined. In recent months, serious questions have been raised regarding the investigation into the circumstances surrounding Epstein's death. Previously, CBS News reported, after conducting an in-depth analysis of the video and consulting independent experts, that the movement appeared more consistent with that of an inmate or someone wearing the standard orange prisoner uniform, rather than a corrections officer. These newly revealed records raise further questions about the activity near Epstein's housing unit late that night. Notably, official reviews of his death never mentioned the presence of this orange-clad figure. Authorities later stated, including then Attorney General William Barr, that no one entered Epstein's unit on the night of his death. In a later interview, then FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino said, "There's clear video evidence showing that Epstein was the only person to enter the unit and the only one to leave it." However, prison staff interviewed by CBS News said that escorting an inmate at that hour would have been extremely unusual. Identifying the individual could have been critical in reconstructing the timeline of events, since the appearance occurred within the possible time window of Epstein's death. The staircase leading to Epstein's unit was monitored by the only known operational camera that night, but it was positioned at an angle that obscured part of the path, making it impossible to rule out the possibility that someone ascended the stairs without being clearly visible. CBS News analysis also revealed further inconsistencies between what the video shows and the official statements. Hours before the discovery of the body, thousands of pages released last week as part of a broader disclosure exceeding 3 million documents related to Epstein reveal additional details about the hours between the evening of August 9th and the discovery of his body the following morning. The records indicate that the housing unit where Epstein was held was relatively quiet that night. Several inmates reported using drugs inside their cells, including marijuana and the synthetic substance K2. Two corrections officers on duty that night, Tova Noel and Ghislaine Bonhomme, were questioned. Documents showed that Bonhomme had been working consecutive shifts and fell asleep on duty between 10 p.m. and midnight. Noel was questioned about an unexplained change in the recorded number of inmates in the unit, which dropped from 73 to 72 between 10 p.m. and 3 a.m. She stated that she may have made a mistake and did not recall any change. Neither officer was specifically questioned about the orange figure seen on the surveillance footage. Bonhomme said he did not remember the time between 10 p.m. and midnight and did not recall anyone entering Epstein's unit, adding that a staff member entering the unit alone would have violated policy. Noel denied distributing linens, stating, "I never distributed linens because that is done during the previous shift." Bonhomme ended his shift at midnight and was replaced by Officer Michael Thomas, who later discovered Epstein's body, while Noel continued into a second shift. Investigators believe that Thomas and Noel failed to conduct inmate counts at 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., as well as required safety checks, and may have fallen asleep. Falsified records and inconsistencies. The two officers were later charged with falsifying enema